So, Fred, what does this mean for the Middle East and the world?
Emma, it's a very serious development. The IAEA came out with a report last month that said Iran can now produce in 1 month enough weapons-grade uranium to fuel 8 nuclear weapons. With these advanced centrifuges, it's going to increase its capability from 4 to 10 times. So there could be a massive increase in the number of nuclear weapons Iran can make. Now, when we say a month away, that uranium is in a gaseous form. It would then take another year to make into fuel for a weapon. But this means Iran is on the brink of maybe making dozens of weapons all at one time because of this advance. It's very dangerous, and this all started in 2021 when Joe Biden became president.
You're also thinking about, when you think of Iran or Iran funding, you think about Houthi rebels as well, perhaps other terror cells. Christian Whiton, talk to us a little bit about this as well, staying on that exact topic, Iran installing advanced centrifuges and this warning by this atomic watchdog group.
Sure. Well, you have all these liberal professors and students on campus, progressives actually, who whine about imperialism. European imperialism came to an end in the second half of the 20th century, but it's alive and well in the Middle East. And the preeminent imperious power is Iran. Iran dominates Lebanese politics. That's why Hezbollah has a privileged sanctuary right next to Israel and is able to fire rockets into Israel with some frequency. Iran essentially runs the Houthi. They supply them with arms. We've caught them red-handed multiple times. And Hamas is on Iran's payroll as well. So you have the combination of these two things. As Fred says, you have an imminent nuclear breakout combined with an imperialist, expansionist power that doesn't just export terrorism and kill Americans, but exports Islamic bad government. And one of the net results is going to be countries like Saudi Arabia, once they see Iran really is truly on the brink, aren't going to accept some verbal promise from Joe Biden that we will defend them. They're going to want their own nuclear arsenal. So you could see a nuclear arms race in the Middle East. Very dangerous.
Yeah, I just wanted to, for a second, go back to the news that the Prime Minister had disbanded the country's war cabinet. Fred, what does that tell you about strategy going on behind the scenes? Is there some internal turmoil happening in Israel?
Well, Netanyahu's chief rival, Benny Gantz, left the war cabinet, which caused it to collapse. And what we're seeing here is that as this war is dragging out, there's been some political infighting and arguments within Israel. Israel is a robust democracy. People have different points of view. It was great that Netanyahu was able to keep all his political rivals together for so long. But I think in a democracy, it is not a surprise there's going to be wrangling like this. Gantz would like to have new elections. Netanyahu is refusing. Netanyahu will continue to consult with the opposition, but this war cabinet arrangement, which began after October 7th, it was no longer possible to keep it going.
With the so-called centrist Benny Gantz walking away from this war cabinet, this being disbanded, as Fred Fleitz rightfully pointed out, he will continue to seek advisement. The prime minister will, but this was reportedly over, Christian, not being able to come up with some sort of concrete solution about a governing body within Gaza after this war, or when that should end. Talk to us about that, Christian.
Well, that is the question. If Israel doesn't want to occupy Gaza as it did in the far ago past, then what governs Gaza? Are you going to install a military government? The Israelis and others, I think, would like something that might be dominated by Egypt, that has a Gaza and a Palestinian veneer, but in fact is non-democratic. Because democracy, unfortunately, and this is sad to say, doesn't work in Gaza. As we learned in the Arab Spring, it doesn't really work in other parts of the Arab world, at least not yet. So if you have an election, you have Hamas come back to power, that's unacceptable to Israel. It's difficult, though. There's no easy solution here. Egypt is run by a military government, and even though we're not really supposed to say this out loud, that's probably what Gaza needs to. It's not necessarily for us here in the United States to decide how it's governed, but it is for us to say it's in American interests that Hamas not come back to power. These are the people who are dancing in the streets and handing out candy on 9/11. They're Islamists. They want to export Islamic tyranny, and it's not good for us to have them around. So who knows what the solution is, but we should be helping Israel, not chiding them to find one.
All right.